Going on, Noles Nation? CJ Wilson here with DoakTalk. I am your host, here to bring you guys some information regarding to visits. Right, I told you guys FSU is in the midst of getting to know 2026 recruits and things like that, and my job is to get you guys familiar with a few names within the 2026 recruiting class. Throughout this new year, FSU has been very busy with hosting junior days. Right, um, two junior days have been hosted so far. FSU is in the middle of hosting a third junior day this weekend. So I want to go ahead and get you guys some names to know, some names you should be familiar with. Before we get into that, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and hit that like button. It takes 2 seconds out of your time. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Welcome to the DoakTalk channel. All right, guys, we'll jump into it. Start with the offensive side, right? Start with running back. Four-star running back Jabari Barnett will be on campus visiting FSU this weekend. Four-star running back Jabari Barnett. FSU already in I guess you could say paid dividends in the previous two junior days, as this kid was on campus 2 weeks in a row for FSU and ended up committing to FSU. He ended up committing to FSU in Amari Clemens, four-star running back out of Mariana. We already have him in the fold, so you have one running back committed. FSU is still fielding business. I'm pretty sure they're trying to take two running backs this recruiting class as FSU loses Keziah Holmes and Roydell Williams to graduation. Their exhausted eligibility. So FSU will be trying to bring in two running backs this recruiting cycle. One already committed, Amari. You have Jabari. My apologies. You have Amari already committed, and Jabari Barnett is on campus currently for FSU and taking this junior day visit. Move on to the offensive line. This is a huge busy weekend for Herb Hand. Herb has done a hell of a job in getting these offensive linemen. Well, first of all, identifying offensive linemen. When I say identifying offensive linemen, I'm talking about fit, right? Body types of things like that, what he wants in an offensive line. So he's done a hell of a job identifying offensive linemen, starting the relationships, and getting out offers and getting these kids on campus. This is the biggest weekend we have thus far as offensive lineman visiting, and Herb has done a hell of a job. So I don't foresee this slowing down anytime soon as far as the offensive line recruitment, identification, whatever you want to call it. Just knowing what you want within the offensive lineman, and that's Herb Hand, and knowing what he wants and getting these guys on campus, and ultimately trying to lock down commitments for these guys. We'll go ahead and jump into the names. Four-star offensive lineman Sam Greer will be on campus taking an official visit to FSU. You're talking about body type, right? This kid is 6'6", 310 pounds. Hell of a player from Akron, Ohio. Four-star, you have Missouri and Ohio State are some of the teams he's interested in. He's from the Midwest area. Midwest pretty much produces the best offensive linemen. Herb Hand has done a hell of a job with this kid, 6'6", 310 pounds. So we'll see how it goes as far as getting him on campus. Another offensive lineman that will be on campus is Greg Kolajak, four-star, 6'5", 210 offensive lineman from IMG. University of Tennessee, University of Georgia, and Miami are some of the schools that's in the running for Breck. Moving on again, Cannon Pickett. This is a familiar name that I want you guys to get familiar with. You guys remember and watch previous videos. This was the kid that was on campus for the first junior day for FSU. He's back on campus again. Like I said, January 18th, he took an unofficial visit to FSU. Back on campus again for the second time this month. This year rather, since we are in February. Four-star offensive lineman, 6'4", 288 pounds. I know Miami is in the running as well, as he has family members that play for the University of Miami. But it's telling to have this kid on campus 2 times within a 2-week time span, pretty much. So we'll see how this recruitment shake out. I'm pretty sure this is a name that you're going to be hearing a lot more moving forward for FSU. Brandon Anderson, a four-star offensive lineman from Kennesaw, Georgia, standing at 6'4", 280 pounds. He recently decommitted from Tennessee like a few weeks ago, so it's going to be interesting to see how this visit turns out. Always good to get the kids on campus and things like that, so the relationship is kind of paying off. We'll see how things go forward as he is fresh off his decommitment from the University of Tennessee. All right, Ganaver Carr, four-star offensive lineman from IMG by way of Ocala, standing at 6'4", 280 pounds. Like I stated, this kid is from Ocala, Florida, so that's pretty much Gator territory, basically. So UF is a team to watch out for this kid, as they are in the running for him. So it's good to get him on campus as well to see how things shake out. Samuel Rosenberg, four-star offensive lineman, top 100 offensive lineman from Clearwater, Florida, standing at 6'5", 285 pounds. You have Ohio State, Texas, and Ole Miss are some of the schools that's in the running for his commitment. Moving on to the defensive side of the ball, we have a few defensive end, well, one defensive end that will be on campus. Pop Ross has done a hell of a job in the previous junior days of getting a lot of talent on campus. This tour is more offensive line heavy, but we still have a few that's on campus. One that I want to point out is Javaris Rogers, defensive end, 6'5", 200 pounds from Fleming Island. He was supposed to be on campus a week ago, wasn't able to make it on campus. Is getting on campus now. He also recently committed to the University of Syracuse, so that'd be something to watch out as well. Committed to Syracuse, but still is fielding and courting other schools and taking unofficial visits. Moving on to the linebacker position, DK Fortpaw, four-star offensive lineman from IMG by way of Georgia, standing at 6 foot, 225 pounds. From the schools that's in the running for DK, you have Clemson, Georgia Tech, and the University of Kentucky. All right, now this one is going to be a tough one, so bear with me as far as pronunciation of the kid's name. Adam Bolagan Ali, 6'2", 205-pounder, four-star offensive, sorry, not four-star offensive lineman, four-star linebacker, rather, from the state of Florida. He's a big-time playmaker. He's number one, top 120 within the 247 composite, 117 to be exact, by way of IMG. It's a big ING contingent that's going to be on campus, so that's a good thing as well. You have the University of Kentucky, Auburn, and the University of Florida as well for Baloo. Also, Bolagan, my apologies. And also University of Colorado. Again, if I mispronounce this kid's name, my apologies. That's on me. Moving on to the defensive back position, three-star safety and FSU commit Darius Hughes will be on campus as well. The kid from Homestead, Florida, standing at 6'2", 170 pounds. The University of Florida just recently offered Darius, so that's going to be interesting as well. But it's always great to get your commits back on campus. So we'll see how FSU does with this visit. If we can try to, lock them down and things like that. I'm pretty sure this kid is going to court other schools and things like that. So the more you get him on campus and things like that, I feel like that works out best for FSU when trying to secure things, make him shut down his recruitment, 100%. Brody Jennings, 6'1", 175-pound cornerback out of Jacksonville, Florida, Mandarin High School. He is committed to the University of Michigan. That last name may sound familiar to a lot of FSU fans, and if so, you guys are correct. He is the son of former FSU linebacker Bradley Jennings. So again, big-time playmaker. Speaking with James Coleman, who coaches at former FSU fullback who coaches at Mandarin, he's very high on Brody Jennings. He thinks the kid is a bona fide playmaker. He is committed to the University of Michigan, but again, he's looking at other options as well. He's courting other schools, going through the process, taking his visits. So it's good to get him on campus from an FSU standpoint. He is a legacy recruit, so we'll see how things stand with that. Like I said, Bradley Jennings was a dominant linebacker for FSU at a certain point in time, a big-time playmaker. Now it's his son's time to go through his process on his own. And last but not least, we have four-star safety Xavier Lacerise. Again, if I'm mispronouncing these names, I apologize. This is my first time, as well as you guys, kind of getting familiar with these guys. So we're going to go through this process together. Four-star safety out of Melbourne, Florida, standing at 5'10", 185 pounds. You have Auburn, Clemson, and Colorado are some of the schools he's looking at as well. Like I stated, this is an unofficial visit weekend for FSU. It's a junior day weekend. These junior days pretty much lay the groundwork going into the spring and the summer. As far as visits and things like that, you can have kids stopping by for practices and trying to set up official visits over the summer. And as you guys know, after the official visit wave in the summer, it's pretty much commitment time. So these junior days are very important in laying that groundwork for that. How can I put this? For that process in regards to going through the winter, the spring, and the summer, and pretty much locking down your recruitment and starting committing and things like that. So FSU is hosting. They have hosted 3. This is the third one. we'll see if they pay dividends in regards to getting these kids back on campus for official visits and things like that. Of course, we'll definitely have you locked in with all of the news on both sides. Make sure you guys tap in with Dope Talk, like and subscribe. Go Noles.